Hey guys, how is it all going? So, thank you so much for joining me for my Friday the 13th, part 5, a new beginning with. Go again. Hey guys, how's it? Oh, one second. Oh, these goddamn enchiladas. Oh, oh. Hey guys, how is it all going? So, we are at Friday the 13th, part 5, a new beginning. So, the final chapter wasn't the final chapter at all. Well, it was the final chapter for about a year until a new beginning came out. So, anyway, the plot of Friday the 13th, part 5 is, guys, basically follows the character of Tommy Jarvis, who was the young lad in the final chapter that killed Jason, finished him off. Unfortunately for Tommy, it's many years later after the events of the final chapter, and he's a little bit messed up because obviously the events of what happened at the end of part 4 has seriously messed up with Tommy. And who wouldn't? We would all be a bit fucked up with what happened there, what he ended up having to do. He's being taken to a halfway house for troubled teens. Unfortunately for Tommy, though, a series of murders starts up again. And could it be Jason? Now, it's not Jason, by the way, right? And this is one of the issues that a lot of fans have with Friday the 13th Part 5 is the fact that Jason Voorhees is not the killer of this movie. Jason is dead. They had no intention of bringing him back at all. I mean, there's a character in this movie that actually turns around and said Jason was cremated. He's nothing but ash. They made sure that Jason Voorhees was never returning in this movie. The only way you see Jason in this movie is either like through nightmares of Tommy, or like he's just seeing him in the background through a mirror when he's like, losing his mind. Roy Burns is the killer of this movie. Who is Roy Burns, do you ask? Well, Roy Burns is a paramedic. And unfortunately for Roy, his son that stays in the halfway house, Joey, who loves his chocolate bars, gets gets hacked to death. And this sends Roy on a spiral, loses his mind, and just decides to kill everybody, bar the guy that actually killed his son. So he kills everyone else, bar the person that actually murders his son. Right? But I understand why there's a lot of Friday fans that despise Part 5 because I was one of them. I've only ever watched Part 5 once before rewatching it again for this review for you guys, and I hated it the first time I saw Part 5. And it was mostly for the fact that Jason was not the killer of this movie at all. It just didn't make any sense to me whatsoever, and it just, yeah. Whenever I'd watch the series again, I would always skip Part 5 and just completely miss it. I would literally just go from 4 to 6. So I'm going to be surprised to say this, guys, because I am generally surprised because I expected to hate this movie just as much as what I did as when I first watched it many years ago. But after rewatching it, I can honestly say this. It's the funniest out of all the Friday the 13th movies. I will give it that. Whether that's intentional or not, I really don't know. But it's funny. This film had me in stitches because some of the characters in this movie are just from a Looney Tunes sketch, especially the mother and the son. Some of her lines in this movie just had me doubled over. The way she talks to her son, calls him a big dildo, keeps telling him to shut the fuck up. Like, I thought her performance was great. I really do. There'll probably be a lot of fans of Friday the 13th that are going to be watching this movie going, Dave, what the fuck are you talking about? but she just hit the funny bone in me. I don't know why. Maybe it was the mood I was in at the time, but I thought she was great. I really did. And there's a lot of dark humour in Friday the 13th Part 5 as well, which kind of hit the spot for me. And I never really noticed it before the first time around the watching it. So that kind of surprised me a little bit. Also, I like some of the kills in this movie. Now, I feel a little bit sorry for Part 5 when it comes to the kills, because apparently the MPAA went to town on this movie and literally, God, got the filmmakers to literally cut around and chop everything up. So a lot of kills are actually done off screen, or you don't really see much happening. But I like the kill with the young lad on the tree that gets the strap wrapped around him ear and he keeps spinning it around. I thought that was horrible. That's a horrible way to go. But it's quite a cool kill. Also, the guy in the car that gets the axe through the head there, I thought that was quite cool. And then obviously our friend with the enchiladas when he goes for a shit and then gets impaled in the fucking shit house. I thought that was quite a cool kill as well. And there was like certain characters in this. I'm not going to say you get to know them because you don't. Basically, the characters are there in this movie just to be killed off by Roy Burns. But they do try to like give some of them like personalities and stuff and like character traits. So I'm not going to say you'll root for them, but they do try with some characters to just make them more than just like, fodder for our serial killer in this movie. But getting to the negatives of Part 5, and it is still a negative for me, is the fact that Jason is not the killer of this movie. Like, I couldn't give a fuck about Roy Burns at all. And I think one of the problems the movie has is the fact that Jason is not the killer. But they make Roy Burns very Jason-like. He looks like Jason, even to the mask. Okay, it has a difference. It has 2 blue stripes here instead of the red stripe, and it doesn't have the axe cut in. So that's to give you a subtle hint that Jason is not the killer of this movie, which you already know anyway. But like I say, they make him very Jason-like. Like, he moves like Jason. And like, he takes punishment like Jason as well. I mean, he gets hit by a fucking bulldozer and then gets back up like it's nothing. Like, Roy Burns is just supposed to be just a middle-aged man that's lost his mind. He's dead after that. I don't care. Or he's crippled. Either way, Roy Burns is not getting fucking back up from that. But he does like Jason would. And he gets like stabbed in the leg. He gets a chainsaw like scraped, down his arm here. And he just gets back and starts fighting like it's nothing again. And I'm thinking, well, if you're just going to do that, just have Jason as the fucking killer of the movie. You know what I mean? So they wanted to kind of distance Jason, but also at the same time, they're giving you a killer like Jason, which makes you just one Jason, basically. So that is a big negative for it. But all in all, I don't think it's a bad movie. Do I think it's a good movie? No, it's not. It's going to be my lowest rated so far of the ones I've done. So I would say if you haven't checked out Part 5 for a long time, just rewatch it, go back and give it a go. And just see where you fall on it. Like I said, I found like a bit of a new appreciation for Part 5. I used to think it was like, the worst Friday the 13th movie. It is by far not the worst Friday the 13th movie. I can think of 2 more Friday the 13th movies that are a lot worse than Part 5. We will eventually get to them. But all in all, it's a decent watch. If you can get past the fact that Jason's not the killer, there are parts of this movie you can enjoy. So I can't really get it to fresh, but I would give Part 5. I would give it a 2.5 out of 5, which is okay. I think it's worth going back and revisiting and just see if it's improved for you or you still feel it's the same piece of shit as what as what you first thought when you first watched it. But let me know in the comments below, guys. If you enjoy part 5, let me know. It'll actually be interesting to hear from you because I think over time it's actually gained a bit of appreciation, I think, with fans of Friday the 13th. So it'll be interesting to see what you fall in this. And guys, as always, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you again real soon. Take care, guys. Goodbye now.